Here we are again. Last episode we put the front crank seal into the timing cover. Since then, I did a lot of tedious things I can't get camera work for, which is put the cam gear on, timing cover then went on, then lifters went back in, and I had mentioned earlier, I think way back, that these were hydraulic lifters. Completely wrong. This is a solid lifter motor. So there's nothing wrong with the lifters. All of my problems have been oiling problems and valve train adjustment. Either way, lifters are back in because lifters have to go in before the heads can go on. Then cylinder heads went on, exhaust manifold gaskets bolted up. None of it is tightened down. It is all just snug to make sure everything fits. Today, the only objective is to torque the heads down, and then we're going to spin that engine over again from the distributor oil pump drive and make sure that I've got oil all the way up through the head. There's no use putting it back together if I don't have it. I'm 99% sure I will, but I'm not going to put it together on guesswork. So that's what we're doing today. Stick around, let's do this. There's a lot of speculation on the internet, not a whole lot of good information that doesn't contradict itself. But if you go to the Ranger station, which is a pretty good site for Ford Rangers, at least 1983 to 2011, what you'll find is some forums that are specific to this first generation and the 2.8. Most people agree that these are not torque-to-yield bolts. Torque-to-yield bolts started with the 2.9. However, I believe the only thing you can purchase anymore is the torque-to-yield bolts that go for the 2.9 and the 4.0, which you could use on this, and it's totally fine. I looked at these head bolts. They don't appear to be torque-to-yield. We're going to cross our fingers and we're going to go ahead and torque these, especially since I can't find specific 2.8 head bolts. They're just not out there. So it's a three-step process for this. It's going to be 40. We're going to go 55 and 85. You want to make sure that you're not warping it when you put it down. You'll see. Let's get this started. Whew. Torque sequence is done. Went all the way around, except this back one. This back one is, we'll see. It's tight, but it's not torqued. It's muscle, snug tight. As hard as I could get it back here in that corner. There's no room to get anything on there. So now what we're going to do is drill back in the oil pump drive, and we're going to keep an eye on that hole right there. There it goes. We got the air bubble out. We've got oil. All right. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the driver's side rocker assembly on, and we're going to do the same thing again, and we're going to fill this rocker assembly up, and I want to make sure that I get oil out of all those holes. It's an out of order step, but for the process that we need to accomplish to make sure that we have fixed this, this is the next step. And this rocker arm assembly is actually fairly easy to put on, especially with nothing in the way. But let's put our splash pan on first, or oiling pan, whatever you want to call these parts and pieces here. It's fine with me. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it Ted. Put Ted on. What we got to do is put, if you'll notice, center hole is oblong, and so is that one. Slot a little bit, give you some room, but basically all you're doing is putting that on like that. Make sure your push rods are on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're good there. Rocker arm assembly. 3 bolts. What you can do is just push these rocker arms back like this, so they keep those push rods in place while you start hand threading these. These go to, if I believe, 45 foot-pounds, but you kind of want to take these down easy. We'll worry about foot-pounds once we get them run down. You want to run them down a little at a time. Last thing you want to do is bend this assembly. It is just a hollow metal tube. Now you will start to get tension when you get farther down because some of these springs are compressed. All right, now what we'll do is get the torque wrench back out, and it's a 17 mil and 45 foot-pounds. All right, so we've got our rocker arm assembly back on, torqued down. We're looking for oil to come out of these holes, especially these upper two, they're at the highest point in the engine, so that would mean this tube is mostly filled. So I'm probably going to get it out of here first, but I'm waiting to get it out of one of these two to make sure it's completely full. So let's give it a shot. All right, we've got oil here. So we know we're getting oil too. It's fantastic. Oil out of the back one. Cylinder number 3, both rocker arms. Slowly filling. I've got it coming out of number 1 exhaust. It's coming out of number 2 exhaust slowly. This battery's not gonna make it. As you can see, we've got it. My battery's dying. This is the last one. I can see it right at the top of it, but it's not quite coming out yet. It will come out. I'm not worried about it. So we're good, man. Success. That's all we need to see. Problem solved. Problem staying solved? Guess we'll find out. But to find out, that means I've got to put this engine together. So that's what we'll do next time. Until then, we'll see you later.